Ever since I've seen Robert Eggers' new take on Nosferatu, I've been non-stop thinking about the movie, especially the look of the movie. I just love how he uses desaturated tones, especially in the moonlight, and I just think the film is just absolutely gorgeous. He truly found a modern way to recapture the look of the original in a new, updated, and modern age of filmmaking. Today, we are going to recreate the look of Nosferatu. I'm going to show you how I did it. Also, at the end of the video, I am selling the LUT that I've created, and I'll be selling it for $5, and you'll be able to purchase it, so you can use it as well for your future projects. Okay, so here we are in Premiere Pro, and this color grading technique can work in any software of your choice. If you download the LUT, you should be able to work it in any software as well. First, I'm going to show you how to make it from scratch, and then I'll show you how to apply the LUT to any footage and fix it later. But if you're in a time crunch or if you're impatient, there are time codes down below to speed up the process for you. So first we're going to drag in your footage and color correct. So I did 2 of them. Basically filming with a blue light. This is in log, so it's not going to be as punchy. And then the next one that I'll do in a second is going to be if you don't have a blue light and if you only have a white light, and how to change that footage to do more of this. I typically don't like using Rec 709 LUTs. I like to have more control with my footage, especially with what we're doing here, because we need to desaturate our footage a lot, and it's better to have full control over that, especially for this look that we're going for. And then to help compare that footage, I like to put my footages next to each other, and then I like to do a comparison view, and then if you go up here, you can drag through, and then you can find this footage right here, and then you can compare the two. You're going to see a lot of people saying that you can steal a color grade from a movie by just clicking on your footage with comparison view and then apply match. And while certainly that does get you closer to the look than what we've had before with the log footage, I feel that this doesn't desaturate what this movie desaturates. If you look in the footage, and anything in the moonlight, it's matching that 1922 Nosferatu look almost, but in a modern age. So the apply match really isn't that great most of the time. And like I said, it certainly gets us closer to it, but just not fully. Okay, so to start off, we need to make this way more blue. So I'm going to drag the temperature all the way down. And then next, we're going to desaturate it. Let's do this. I mean, a lot of this is going to be by eye. Let's do about that one. Now we're going to try to correct our footage as best we can. This process will be different from everyone depending on your footage, but we want to keep our footage as dark as we can. Okay, so now we have a much closer look to what we are going for. Again, it's still not fully there, but with just a couple more tweaks, we will get there very shortly. All right, next up, we're going to be in our creative section, and we're going to desaturate this just a little bit more. And then we're going to push our highlight tint to a little bit of a darker blue instead of a lighter blue. Maybe about there. Again, this one's going to be a bit more eye. Maybe about there. So that's definitely going to push us a bit closer. And then for tint balance, we're going to push this just a little bit. Right about there seems to work a little bit more. And then for our curves, we're only going to tweak our blue ones. And again, this one, like, there's no number, there's no math to this. It is really, truly just by eye. I found just doing just a little bit touches work. And then next up, we're going to do our hue versus saturation. I've actually never messed with this effect before. I actually have no idea what it does. But that's so fun with just trying to capture a look of a movie, is playing around with it. And I just found right about this line, I felt helped push that look a bit closer as well. Next is the color wheels and match, and again, by eye. I didn't really do too much drastic movements with this one, and just like that, basically I pulled this one down and to the right a little bit, mainly this one just a little down, and this one just a little down, maybe slightly to the right, pushing that blue just a little bit more. And then lastly, this is just up to you, but I add a little bit of a vignette. And now the look in that LUT is done. So now what we need to do is we have the footage back in RAW. We're going to click on the look over here. Here it is, Nosferatu Moon 24. That's the LUT I made for it. And then boom, it is in. Now again, you can't just put in a LUT. You need to do some tweaking yourself. But this is going to do a lot of heavy lifting and help you get a bit closer. Like I said, desaturating the footage, turning it more blue, mess with the highlights and the colors and the shadows. That's really going to help push it. And if you'd like to purchase this LUT for only $5, just email cqfilms@gmail.com with the subject line Nosferatu LUT. Now we're not done just yet. So here we have the same shot as we had before, but with a white light instead of a blue light. Now we can't possibly match our footage the same to that, right? Wrong. Exactly. So now we're going to do something a little unorthodox, but first we're going to put in our LUT in the creative, not the basic correction. We still need to tweak a lot. It's best to put that in the creative. Put that in the creative first. And I say that's unorthodox because you should always correct before you grade. I think this is a little different just because we have a pre-built LUT to recreate that Nosferatu look. It's probably best to put in that color grade, or it's probably best to put in that LUT first, and then we can correct towards it to match the shots that we want to match over here. So once again, we're going to push our temperature all the way down and push that blue look. And then also we're actually going to tint a little green to help even that out. Actually, that might be a little too much. And then yeah, once again, we are going to desaturate our footage as well. All right, so now we are going to try and match the footage again with correction, but honestly it just feels like grading. And after these adjustments were made, we are once again back to what we had before. Minor differences right here I'm noticing is this image right here is just a little bit brighter, so maybe you want to turn down the exposure just by a hair. It's still a little bright, but again, close. Color-wise, we are very, very close. And also, we didn't have to mess with our creative and our curves, just with this LUT being uploaded to it. But obviously, you know, you can use these tools to match it or change it to whatever you like. But yeah, that's how much this LUT is going to do a lot of heavy lifting for you. And yeah, that's about it. It's really not as hard as it looks. And once again, finally, not to bring it home, but if you would like to purchase this LUT, just email cqfilms@gmail.com with the subject line Nosferatu LUT just for $5, and I'll be able to get that to you guys. Thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, I will see you on the next one.